right, so we're gonna review solving system of equations. System of equations basically when I have two letters, right? And I want to find the value of both letters. So let's take a look. Solve each system of equation. So question number 15. We can do this by graphing, by elimination, by substitution. Let me do question 15 and 16 by substitution. Okay, what I'm going to do, I want to have in substitution, I want to have a letter by itself. So looking at my first equation, let me rewrite this as x is equal to y plus 6. Notice all I did, the negative y, I moved it over. So I wanted the x by itself. I want a letter by itself. It doesn't matter if it's x or it doesn't matter if it's y or any letter that I give you. So all I did, let me cancel this out. I just rewrote it with one letter by itself. Now I'm going to rewrite the second equation, but instead of x, I'm going to use y plus 6. Okay, so let me rewrite this as 2 times the quantity y plus 6 plus 2y is equal to 16. Let me fix this too. Notice I wrote 2x plus 2y equals to 16, but instead of x, I wrote y plus 6. Let me get rid of parentheses. Let me distribute the 2. So I have 2y plus 12 plus 2y is equal to 16. Separate my sides to the equal sign. I see y's, 2y plus 2y. Let me combine my like terms. So I'm going to call this 4y plus 12 is equal to 16. Again, I'm combining my like terms. I want y by itself. So this plus 12, let me move it over as a minus 12. Got to switch the sign. So I get 4y is equal to 4. Let me divide both sides by 4. So y is equal to 1. Cool. I have one of my values. Let me use y is equal to 1 here in order for me to solve for x. Let me rewrite this, but instead of y, I'm going to write 1. So I have x is equal to 1 plus 6. So x is 7. Let me take a look at question number 16 as a substitution as well. I want to rewrite one equation where only one letter is by itself. So the second equation, let me write this as y equals 8x minus 1. Notice how the negative 8x, I moved it to the right as a positive 8x. So positive 8x minus 1. So again, I rewrote this. I want one letter by itself. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation, but instead of y, I'm going to use 8x minus 1. So let me write this as negative 3x minus 7. Inside parentheses, 8x minus 1. All of this is equal to 7. Let me distribute the negative 7. That way I'm going to get rid of parentheses. So I have negative 3x minus 56x plus 7 is equal to 7. Let me combine the x's. Negative 59x plus 7 is equal to 7. To get the x by itself, this plus 7, let me move it over as a minus 7. So negative 59x is equal to 0. Divide both sides by negative 59. X is still 0. Or there's no such thing as a negative 0. So cool, I have the value of x. To solve for value y, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to say y is equal to 8 times 0 minus 1. I know 8 times 0 is 0 minus 1. I'm going to get y is equal to negative 1. There's my x and there's my y values. I could use substitution. I can also use elimination. For elimination, let me use 17 and 18 for elimination. I'm gonna want one of my letters to cancel out. I can make my x's into 14s. right? Multiply the first one by 2, and they're 14s. If I want to cancel the y's, I can make them into 12s, right? Multiply the first one by 3 and the second one by 2. I'm going to cancel the x's. I'm going to cancel one of my letters. It doesn't matter which one. What I'm going to do, let me multiply everything on the first one by 2. So let me rewrite this. I have negative 14x plus 8y is equal to negative 40, right? I multiplied everything by 2. My second equation, I have 14x minus 6y is equal to 30. I'm not doing anything because I noticed the x's cancel out. They cancel out when they have the same number, but different signs. One of them is negative, one of them is positive. If I combine everything else, if I combine the y's, positive 8, negative 6, I have 2y is equal to negative 10, right? Negative 40 and a positive 30 give me negative 10. If I divide both sides by 2, I get y is equal to negative 5. Now that I know the value y, I'm going to use any of my equations. Just to choose one, I'm going to choose the second one. I'm going to write 14x minus 6 times a negative 5 is equal to 30. So I have 14x plus 30 is equal to 30. To have the 14x by itself is plus 30. Let me move it over as a minus 30. So I have 14x is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 14, and I'm going to get x is equal to 0. So there's my two values, x and y values, right? It could be any letter. Let's take a look at number 18. I'm going to cancel the y's. I could cancel the x's if I multiply the bottom by 3, right? The x's are going to cancel. I could cancel the y's if I want to multiply the second one by 2. I want to cancel the y's. I'm going to multiply this by 2. So I have negative 6x minus 18y is equal to negative 30. The second one, I have 4x plus 18y is equal to 32. Again, I wanted to cancel one letter. I wanted to eliminate the y's. So I have that negative 2x is equal to 2. Divide both sides by the number in front of the x. X equals negative 1. Cool, I have one value. Now let me use this equation before I multiplied. So it's 2x plus 9y equals 16. For space purpose, let me use this right here. 2 times a negative 1 plus 9y equals 16. Notice I wrote 2x plus 9y equals 16, but instead of x, I use negative 1 because I know x equals negative 1. So let me write this as negative 2 plus 9y equals 16. This negative 2, let me move it over as a plus 2. So I get that 9y equals 18. Divide both sides by 9. So y is equal to 2. Right? It doesn't matter if you use elimination, you use substitution, you can graph. Now let's take a look at word problems. The senior classes at high school A and high school B plan separate trips to the state fair. The senior class at high school A rented and filled, let me highlight this information, 2 vans, 2 buses with 104 students. So let me rewrite this as 2V for 2 vans plus 2 buses is equal to 104 students. High school B rented and filled 6 vans, 3 buses, 186 students. So let me rewrite this as 6V plus 3B equals 186. Okay, so I'm gonna try to cancel out the V's, the vans. Let me multiply the first one by a -3. So that's going to give me -6v. Oh, let me not up equal. -6v minus 6b is equal to -312. I multiplied everything by -3. The second equation, I have 6v plus 3b is equal to 186. And the v's, I know they cancel out. With buses, a -6 and a +3, that give me -3b. -312 and a +186, because they have different signs, I have to subtract them and keep the sign of the large one. So -126. Divide both sides by -3, and I'm gonna get 42. All right. So there were 42 buses in each, 42 students in each bus. Now to solve for V, I'm gonna use an equation. I'm actually gonna use this one before I multiplied. So let me use this as 2V plus 2 times 42 is equal to 104. So 2V plus 84 is equal to 104. My plus 84, let me move it over as a minus 84. So 2V is equal to 20. Divide both sides by 2. V equals 10. So there were 10 students in each van, and there were 42 students in each bus. Cool, interesting. Now let's take a look at one last example. Word problem, question number 20. A plane traveled 1,008 miles each way to Cleveland and back. Okay, so each way is 1,008 miles. The trip there was with the wind. It took 9 hours, and the trip back was into the wind. The trip back took 18 hours. What is the speed of the plane in stilled air? Okay, so I have the plane and I have the wind. So on the way with the wind, because let me highlight this, the trip there was with the wind and it took 9 hours. Okay, so I'm gonna use P for how fast is the plane going, and I'm gonna use W to say how much is the wind going. So I can say it took 9 hours, right? So 9 plane, because 9 hours, the speed of the plane, plus 9 hours with the wind, it was 1,008 miles. So P is how many miles is the plane traveling, and W is how many miles is the wind traveling. I use plus because it's with the wind, right? So the wind is helping us out. The trip back was into the wind, and that one took 18 hours. Okay, so on the trip back, I'm gonna say 18 hours with the plane, right? The how much the plane traveled minus 18W, because the wind was pushing us back. It was 1,008 because it's the same distance. Okay, I gotta find out what's the plane speed and what's the wind. What's P and W? All right, I'm gonna use elimination. What I'm going to do is let me multiply the first one by 2. Okay, so that's gonna give me 18P. I'm gonna start here. 18P plus 18W is equal to 2016. I multiplied everything by 2. The second one, I have 18P minus 18W is equal to 1008. The cool thing is that the W's cancel out. So if I combine the P's, 18 plus 18, that's 36P. Now 2016 plus 1008 is 3024. Let me divide both sides by 36, and P is 84. Okay, so the plane is going 84 miles per hour. It makes sense. Now let me solve for W. I'm going to use the first equation before I multiply it. So I have, let me use blue so we don't get confused. So I'm going to use 9P plus 9W equals 1008. But I know the value of P. So 9 times 84, because that's 9P, plus 9W equals 1008. I know 9 times 84 is 756. So I have 756 plus 9W equals 1008. The 756, let me move it over as a minus 756. So I'm going to say that 9W is equal to 252. When I divide both sides by 9, I get W equals 28. So there you go. The plane is going 84 miles per hour and the wind is going 28 miles per hour. Let me zoom out so you guys can take a screenshot of what we did today.